Here we go, episode 2. Welcome back to the Obedient Rebel podcast. Today's question: are you exhausted from chasing success that never satisfies? You know the chase I'm talking about. Like always running after the next goal, the next achievement, the next dollar, the next title. You get there, you check the box. Maybe you allow yourself celebrating for like a minute, but most likely not. And then the emptiness creeps in. The satisfaction doesn't last. And before you know it, you're off chasing the next thing again. That's not success, my friend. That's exhaustion with lipstick on it. And it's actually something that the world absolutely glorifies, is the chase. In case you're new here, let me remind you about what it means to be an obedient rebel. At its core, we obedient rebels obey God's laws and break our rules. But what does that really mean in real life? It means you stop living by the unspoken rules that have been foisted on you that are wearing you out. You know the ones, the thoughts that run on repeat that nobody else can hear. Thoughts of like, if I slow down, I'll fall behind. If I rest, that means I'm lazy. I have to be everything to everyone. I have to hold everything together, but I'm falling apart. So now what? Or will I ever get this right? Will it ever actually be enough? Those are not God's laws. Those are fear-driven rules that you've been carrying for years. You inherited most of them. And they're not just breaking you down, they're breaking you apart. An obedient rebel learns to break those rules and anchor in God's truth instead. Because when you obey His laws, His commandments, yes, I am talking about the 10 commandments, my friend, as well as the universal laws that govern the flow of energy, that govern the rules of success, the actual laws of success, the laws that govern prosperity. Also, the laws and the rules that we get in Scripture about trust, about stewardship, about rest, about peace. When you will actually obey God's laws, you don't get chaos. You get calm, clarity, and confidence, even as you are continually expanding into that next version of you and that next level of success. That is the obedient rebel way. And if that resonates, welcome home. You found your people. So what are we rebelling against today? Today, we are rebelling against the endless chase, the lie that more is always the answer. What are we obeying instead? We are obeying rest in God's provision, choosing to receive instead of chase. I'll never forget when I was first in business. Now, I've been an entrepreneur for about 25 years, but I've been building my own empire as of this recording for about the last 13, 14 years. And I hired a business coach when I first got into business. And I remember we had there was a whole group of us, and we had just finished this launch. And there was one woman there who said, I just made $30,000 from this launch. I have never made that much money in my life, but I'm not going to stop. And I'm not actually celebrating because I'm nowhere near to hitting my goal, which was $100,000. And I remember thinking to myself, are you actually kidding me right now? It doesn't count? You've made more money in a week than you've made like in a year. And you don't count it? Like that doesn't count for anything. You're not going to stop. You're not going to celebrate because you're not close to your pie in the sky goal of $100,000. And I was mortified. I was mortified by that. And I felt so bad for her that she wouldn't allow herself even a moment's of celebration. That she had just hit a milestone that she'd never imagined that she would hit, but it wasn't enough. It didn't count. It didn't count because it wasn't her huge goal. But then I remember when I hit my huge milestone and I made $100,000 in a weekend. In 2 days. In 2 days. I made $100,000. And I went home and cried because I was so exhausted. And I knew I had to fulfill on those contracts. I had no problem in deliverability and in fulfillment. I mean, like, this is my life's work. This is my calling. This is my mission. And I love it. But I was so worn out, I didn't even let myself rest. It was just like, all right, we got to dive into this because it's a Saturday. And I told them that we would dive in on Monday. And all I felt was tired to my bones. I never thought that I would make $100,000 in a weekend. That was so pie in the sky to me. And I really thought that once I had hit that number, everything would click. You know, like I'd finally be enough and I'd finally get to breathe and I would finally feel deep satisfaction. And although I was very much looking forward to working with these women, and I allowed myself a thank you, jump up and down. And then it was like, I don't even know what to do. And then my brain was like, okay, now what's next? Like, not only do you need to fulfill, now you need to double that next time. Now you'd like, oh my gosh, just talking about it puts me in a little bit of a trauma response. I'm not going to lie. Because what happened is the finish line just moved farther away, right? I made $100,000 in a weekend. Now I need to make $100,000 with one client. Like, I mean, it just gets absolutely insane, this chase that we're on. And it drives us crazy and it crushes our soul. It really does. And that's the nature of chasing. The chase never ends. But the emptiness grows and the exhaustion grows because it's like, I put everything that I had into that and now you want me to double it? And I thought this milestone would mean more than it actually does. Holy cow. Now, maybe you've been there too. You worked for the promotion, the house, the six-figure year, the six-figure weekend, the respect of others. It doesn't matter what that is. You hit that milestone and then the satisfaction slipped through your fingers. And here's the truth that the world does not teach you. And the business world certainly does not teach you. When success is built on chasing, it will always leave you empty. But when success is built on obedience to God's laws, not business rules of competition, when success is built on the right obedience, it fills you even in the process. So the world and the grind says run harder, faster, longer. God says, stay close to me and I'll bring it to you. I remember when I did my first launch as well. And I like my first milestone in my business was $30,000. I mean, my first milestone was $5,000 a month and then it would get bigger and bigger and bigger because I was chasing. And I'd had my first $30,000 month and I told my business coach and I told my community and she was like, that is awesome. You're in great energy. Now double it. And I just wanted to cry. I'm like, can I not even rest for just a second? But her mantra was, we don't rest when we're tired. We rest when the work is done. But the work is never done. The work is never done. I was just so almost demoralized where it was like 30,000 in a month. Cash flow is still not enough. Like, oh, it can't be contracted. It has to be cash flow. And now it can't be 30,000. It's got to be 75,000. Like, it's just, And it can be money, it can be a relationship. You can fill in the blank for whatever milestone has been in your life that's crushed you like that. But here's the thing, obedience is not being passive at all. Obedience is alignment. Let God lead the pace, the opportunities, and the overflow. If you want success that does not cost you your soul, this is about alignment. Alignment with God, not actually alignment with your outcome. So here's a tool that I want to share with you today. It's called Switch the Chase. There's 2 steps to this. The first step is identifying one area where you're chasing and really be honest with yourself. Is it money? Are you chasing money? Are you chasing approval? Are you chasing control or recognition? Name it. Don't shame it. Just name it. I'm absolutely chasing this. I'm chasing 2 dress size smaller. I'm chasing a compliment, whatever it is, it's okay, just name it. Step 2, ask yourself, what would it look like to stop chasing and start receiving in this area? Instead of sending one more desperate email, maybe you take 5 minutes to pray and you ask the Lord for clarity. Instead of adding another thing to your calendar, maybe you pause and actually rest, trusting that God multiplies your peace. Oh, I lied. There's not 2 steps. There's 3 steps. Third step is to write it down. One small shift today from chasing to receiving. Like, that's it. That's it. Obedience isn't doing nothing. Alignment isn't doing nothing. It's doing the right thing in the right spirit at the right time. And that, for you control freaks out there, I know you're just like, oh, and now I got to make sure I'm doing the right thing in the right spirit at the right time. And how do I do that? Obedience isn't doing nothing. If we want to have greater levels of success, we've got to be obedient to the right alignment. Because when you are aligned to God, when you are aligned to actual truth, then that's not passive at all. And that actually shifts you. The alignment is what shifts you, and it shifts everything. So you don't have to worry if you're in the right place and the right energy at the right time. You'll feel it. You'll feel it when you're aligned. You feel it when you're unaligned or you're misaligned. So don't think for 1 second that you lying down means you're lazy. If you're lying down because your nervous system is so shot that you can't lift one more thing, lie down, listen to your body and lie down and rest. Don't pop another caffeine pill. Don't chug another energy drink or another cup of coffee at 3:00 in the afternoon. Allow your body a moment to reset. Allow your body to rest. This is what alignment looks like. This is what obedience looks like in action. And I know there's some of you out there that are like, that sounds so amazing to me, but I could never. I didn't say it was easy. It is very simple though. It's not easy when your rule is, if I rest, it means I'm lazy. If I'm sitting down and doing nothing, I'm falling behind. That's a rule that must be broken, and it will actually cause some upset in your nervous system at first because you're introducing something that's unfamiliar, peace. And your nervous system is so used to cortisol and adrenaline and stress and chaos and chatter and noise that when you introduce quiet and you introduce peace, your body's going to be like, what holy hell is this? What do you think you're doing? That's where breathing comes in. That's where being really intentional. I'm going to lie down and listen to my body, and I'm going to align right now. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to connect with the Lord, and I'm going to ask what the Lord wants me to know about myself. I promise you, He will tell you that you're enough and how much He loves you and how proud He is of you, regardless of where you are in your process. So obedience is not passive. And neither is alignment. Now, my friend, if success has left you drained and run ragged, it's because you've been following the wrong version of it. That's why I created the Obedient Rebel Way. It's a free resource to help you trade the grind for God and take your peace back in just a few minutes. Go to theobedientrebel.com/way or scan the QR code and you'll get instant access. It's my gift to you. Again, go to theobedientrebel.com/way to get your free gift. Now, if you remember from our last episode, I talked about the Obedient Rebel movement. And every great movement has got to have a clarion call or a manifesto. So here is the Obedient Rebel manifesto. And if you want to join the movement, I'll show you how you can join it in just a minute. Sacrifice has its place. Endurance has its place. Sometimes exhaustion is even holy when it's born of obedience. But somewhere along the way, the world twisted these truths. It turned sacrifice into self-betrayal. It turns exhaustion into a lifestyle. It told you constant pressure was the price of success. That's the lie we're rebelling against. You're not broken. The model is. The Obedient Rebel movement exists to prove what the world got wrong. That obedience is not self-betrayal, it's overflow. That peace isn't passive, it's power. And that peace produces more than pressure ever will. By 2030, we will redefine success for 1 million faith-driven leaders worldwide. Together, we'll prove that obedience is synonymous with overflow, not survival. This isn't just a podcast. It's a movement, a revolution, and it starts with you. My friend, if this episode spoke to you, here's how you can be part of the Obedient Rebel movement. First, subscribe so you never miss an episode. Rate and review the show. It helps more leaders find this message. And share this with a friend who is ready to trade the grind for God. Our goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers in the next 3 months, not just for numbers, but because every subscription is one more voice proving the world's model wrong. Hit subscribe, leave a review, and share. And you know what? Drop a comment below. What are you rebelling against? What do you wish you could rebel against, but you don't feel like you can? I read your comments, and I will create other episodes based on the comments that you leave that are constructive and that actually tell me what you want to hear more about. Because I believe that together we will rise. Until next time, my friend, keep your peace close, your obedience strong, and your rebellion holy.